You're sitting there, staring at the screen, and a question burns in the back of your mind. How did millions of ordinary people fall for a monster? Not stupid people, not evil people, average citizens, parents, workers, dreamers, just like you. Yet an entire nation followed a man who promised glory and delivered genocide. Let me explain why. They don't teach you this part in school. The psychological part. The part that shows how easily a human mind can be rewritten when fear becomes oxygen and hope becomes a weapon. Picture this, a country broken after World War I. Men returning from battle with empty hands, families starving, humiliation hanging over every streetlight like smoke. And in the middle of that darkness, a voice rises. A voice that sounds decisive, confident, unshakable. People didn't fall in love with Hitler. They fell in love with certainty. Because when your world collapses, certainty feels like salvation. Here's the truth. Humans don't follow leaders. Humans follow emotions. That's not politics, that's psychology. Hitler understood the emotional architecture of the mind better than most psychologists of his era. He knew how to speak to wounds, not to logic. He didn't start with threats. He started with belonging. You are chosen. You are special, and someone is trying to destroy you. That's not love, that's control. Give a population a shared enemy, and you can unite them under anything. Fear is the glue, belonging is the rope, and desperation, that's the lock that keeps the trap sealed. This isn't random, it's psychology. Think about the first step of manipulation, isolation. Hitler isolated Germany emotionally. He painted the world as hostile. Foreign powers, internal enemies, un-German influences. He turned the nation inward, so his voice became the only voice that mattered. Then came the second step, repetition. Propaganda wasn't just posters or speeches, it was saturation. Every wall, every classroom, every radio, the same message, the same fear, the same promise. Say a lie once, it's suspicious. Say it 1,000 times, it becomes the air people breathe. Third step, identity hijacking. People didn't follow Hitler because they feared him. They followed him because he tied their personal identity to his political vision. To oppose him wasn't just treason. It felt like betraying your own nation, your own neighbors, your own sense of self. When a manipulator fuses identity with allegiance, escape becomes almost impossible. Let me give you a real example. Imagine you're a young German boy in 1933. You go to school, your teacher tells you you're part of a great future, that your generation will restore the honor your parents lost. They hand you a uniform, a badge, a marching song. It feels good. It feels powerful. For the first time in your life, you belong to something bigger than yourself. You don't know you're being used. You only know that someone finally made you feel important. That's how manipulation works. It doesn't feel like manipulation. It feels like purpose. Now imagine millions of children raised exactly like that. Imagine millions of adults who lost jobs, homes, dignity, and suddenly a man tells them they can rise again. This wasn't politics. This was emotional engineering. Here's the part people don't want to admit. If you were born in that time, in that place, you might have followed him too. Not because you're weak, but because humans are wired to seek survival, meaning, and safety. Hitler offered all three, wrapped in lies, fear, and fantasy. He didn't conquer Germany. Germany handed itself over. That's the darkness inside human psychology. When we feel lost, we cling to the loudest voice that says it knows the way, even if that voice is leading us off a cliff. But every manipulation has a breaking point. And here's the truth most people miss. The same psychology that builds obedience also builds collapse. Because when you lead by fear, you must keep creating new enemies to stay in power. And eventually, even your followers realize they're next. By the end, the same nation that once saluted Hitler watched their cities burn, their families shatter, their illusions die. The spell broke. The cost didn't. So what does this mean for you right now? It means you're not immune. No one is. Manipulation doesn't look like a dictator on a stage. It looks like anyone who tells you, "Only I can save you. Everyone else is lying. Without me, you are nothing." The moment you hear that, walk away, because history isn't just something that happened. It's something that repeats whenever the human mind forgets how vulnerable it truly is. Remember this: strong people question the voices that promise certainty. Stronger people question the ones that promise enemies. But the strongest people question the voice inside themselves that wants to believe it. That's how you stay free. That's how a mind protects itself. And that's how darkness loses.